is MJ, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a boomerang shawl. As you can see, the boomerang will naturally curl as you work it, so it's very important that we block the boomerang shawl when we're finished. So as you're working, if you're getting a curl, that's completely normal. So the yarn that I'm using is a beautiful self-striping yarn. It's new from We Crochet, and it's Felici. It's a worsted weight, and the color that I'm using is Time Traveler. And I'm going to work up, so far I've worked one ball, and I'm going to work my second ball of yarn. It's just rolled into a ball here. The boomerang shawl is a simple repeat, so you can really make it as large as you want. I'm using 2 balls, but if you prefer, you can make it even larger and add an additional ball. This right now is the size of 1 ball, which is pretty small. I would think you would need to use at least 2 for a decent size shawl. I'm using my Furls Odyssey hook, and this is a 4.5 millimeter or a G+ hook size. So to begin our boomerang, we're going to start out with a slip knot. Put that on the hook. We're going to chain 4. And then I'm going to work extended single crochets across the chain. So in the second chain from the hook, 1, 2, I'll work an extended single crochet. So we're going through the chain, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And this entire shawl is going to be worked in extended single crochets. Now we'll chain 1 and turn. So how we get the boomerang to get its shape, for every row what we're going to do is we're going to skip one side of the boomerang, the same side we're always skipping a stitch. The other side we're always increasing by 3 stitches. So, or increasing I should say by 2. We're adding 3 stitches in the final stitch. So we're going to skip the first, work an extended single crochet in the next. In the last stitch, we're adding 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 4 stitches. So every row is going to go up by 1 stitch. So we'll chain 1 and turn. Now we'll work, we increase this side, we're always going to increase that side, and that's what's going to create this curve. So work 3 in the first. We'll work an extended single crochet in the next, and now we have 2 stitches remaining. So we'll do an extended single crochet tog across these 2 stitches. So I'm going to go through pulling up a loop. I'm going to go in the next stitch and I'm going to pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now this side we're always doing a decrease. This side we're always increasing. Chain 1 and turn. So again, we're going to skip. We could do an extended single crochet tog, but I'm just going to skip that very first stitch and work an extended in the next. An extended in the next. Extended in the next. And when we get to that final stitch, we'll work 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're up to 6 stitches. And let's go through it one more time. So we'll chain 1 and turn. And we finished with an increase, so we're going to begin with an increase. So 1, 2, 3. And then we'll work across until we have 2 stitches remaining. And then we'll do a tog with those last 2. So go through, pull up a loop, go in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And we're just going to keep working those repeats. And this is what your shawl will begin to look like. So this is the very beginning. Okay, it's going to start to curve, it's going to curl, and it may even curl a little bit on this side as well as you work. So I've worked through 1 complete ball. So at this point, I'm going to want to add on another ball to continue working it so that it's larger. And what's great about this yarn is it takes out all the work of having to do a stripe pattern. We don't have to cut or weave. We can just continue working this simple repeat pattern to make a beautiful shawl. Now when you're adding a second ball, you want to make sure the color pattern continues in the same way. So I'm going from gray to cream to yellow and so on. So I want to make sure when I join the new ball that it's going in the same color pattern. I'm going to take my new yarn against my old. I'm just going to do a thumb join. You could also do a Russian join. So wrap it around your thumb twice and then just take your tail between your thumb and the tails. Fold your tails under and just pull that tight, and it's going to make a really strong knot. Now if you have some extra fluffy tails sticking out, I would just give that a trim. And then you can just continue working. I'm basically just going to work my shawl until I use up my second ball of yarn. So you're just working the same repeat pattern throughout. This is a great project to have in the evenings if you're just watching TV. It's a nice repetitive pattern that's nice and relaxing to work up. Once you crochet through your knot, you can kind of decide if it's hidden enough or not. If you decide that it's making a bit of a bump that you don't like, I would suggest the Russian join. It's a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more fiddly, but it does work really well. So that's how that looks. There's a little bump here, but it's more so, it looks pretty good overall. So I'm just going to continue working up my second ball, and then I will give you a demonstration on blocking it. Okay, so here is my shawl. It has been completely blocked and dried. So what I did is I submerged it in water with just a tiny bit of dish soap, just lukewarm water. And then I squeezed out the excess water and just laid it out to this nice boomerang shape. That's how it gets its name, because of the shape of the boomerang. I also used the steamer a little bit, my hand steamer, just to flatten out the edges. So once you have it completely dried, basically your shawl is complete.